I'm Diana Rice-Wilkerson, and welcome to the Home and Finance Show. Joining me is my co-partner.
Hi, I'm Janis Bradley with JB Real Estate Consultants.
And joining us is our production manager, Shelly Guzman.
Thank you. Excited to be here with you ladies.
And we are excited about our show today. Thank you so much for joining. If you are tuning in for the first time, please know that the Home and Finance Show airs on Tuesdays from 9 to 9:30 right here on Channel 40. And we bring you information about buying, selling, refinancing, renovating a home, and a whole lot more. Today, we are going to be talking to our seniors because we have Janis Bradley, who is our guru, trailblazer, make it happen chick, and she has just received a certification to be a senior real estate specialist. And how are you, Ms. Bradley?
I'm great. Being a senior, yes, I'm great. Glad to be a senior, that is for sure.
And you understand you got some additional credentials, like you didn't have enough credentials.
Yes,
you've gotten some more.
Exactly, you have to work on it. You got to put something on behind that name.
Well, before you get into your presentation, just talk to us a little bit about what caused you to take that step.
Well, Diana, probably because of you and I are co-host of the Home and Finance Show, as everybody knows. And basically, we're just getting into, actually we've had more seniors probably in the last, I have personally, and Diana with me in the last 2 or 3 years. Also the fact, Diana, that you also do the reverse mortgage.
Yes.
So it almost just kind of was a perfect fit. And we can't take away the fact that I am also a senior. So I think at this point in my life, it just made a lot of sense to be able to be certified in something that I pretty much know about, but wanted to know a lot more. And I'm just so excited, really with this because it makes sense, and just to be helpful, and then because again, what I already do, I feel like is a service because it is the gift that I have working with purchasing homes and selling homes and things of this nature. And that's why, it just felt right. It just felt right that this was the time to do it.
Well, I love the fact that you can relate to the client.
Exactly.
And I know also at being a senior myself, we just know we need extra, right?
Yeah,
and so even the National Association of Real Estate Brokers decided that there needed to be a certification to be a senior real estate specialist. So why don't you just go ahead and proceed and tell us all about it.
Okay, and there's going to be a lot here to talk about, but I just want you to see just how great this service is and will be, and we probably need more and more people doing it. But as we talked about, I am now a senior real estate specialist. That's a lot of words, but like I said, I'm very excited about this designation, especially since I am a senior, and I also made the comment that I can relate to many challenges and life stages seniors go through because I've gone through some of them myself. So what I intend to do is to have different segments during the aspects of what a senior real estate specialist will be encountering. And as we do more of the shows, I'm going to break them up. However, here are a few of my objectives. We'll be learning together about the physical aspects of aging in order to understand and serve the senior market. I also will be learning to recognize the relationships between health and activity status and housing choices. I will also be applying my knowledge of the age-based homeownership cycle in order to help clients and homes that fit their preferences, life stages, and needs. Quite frankly, this is why I'm so excited about this certification. Obviously, that's pretty much what I'm doing now, working with senior citizens. However, this certification will allow me to actually get a little bit more detailed when considering all the different aspects of seniors.
I have a question.
Yes.
And so what I'm hearing you say, I believe, is that when it comes to seniors buying a home, many times they're going to know what they want. They're going to know what their needs are or have an idea, and you're going to work closely with them to make sure that those needs get met, possibly even bring to the table some things that they might need to think about that they never did.
And that's probably a lot more than that than you would think.
You know, I can see that.
Yeah, because again, when we're talking about life stages, everybody's situation is different, you know. And what I have found also, even as I was studying and getting my certification, it's such such life changing what people are actually going through. You know, obviously I had it personally myself when I lost my husband, so I was in a different mode and different chapter of my life. So that's why I do know that this works for me, because I can identify. And yes, Diana, yes and no about they know what they want to do, because sometimes they don't. And there are maybe possibly situations that the family's not involved because maybe there's not a family, you know, or because the family may be out of another state, things of this nature. So yeah, it's going to be, sometimes they think they know what they want to do, and sometimes they may not, because we are finding, I think AARP was talking about 77% of the seniors want to stay home. They want to stay right where they are. But is that always going to be the case? Okay.
See, the other thing I think I like about what you're saying is you have a compassion and a sensitivity toward the senior, so that, you know, I know as my mom, she never liked to be rushed. She always wanted to just get the information and make her decision. And I know a lot of seniors don't want to work with people who seem to be pushy, and it feels like that you're that person who's going to be the great partner.
Well, you know, I thank you for that. And I have had several situations where someone will refer me to, whether it's their parent or a relative or somebody that they know that are in a situation where especially when it's been a loss, and they just don't know what to do. And immediately they just say, okay, well, I know I need to sell the house. Well, they share with you in many situations that you really cannot and should not make decisions for at least that first or second year, you know, just because you're dealing with a lot of stress and you don't know what to do. So you just have to take like really one step at a time. And I'll share with them, you know, don't make any decisions now. And especially you'll have probably your children may be kind of egging you on and just saying, hey, you need to do this. It's a lot of stress. You have to be mentally and physically ready for your next chapter in life. So let's just kind of talk about some of the impacts that we have with the senior citizens. So we have to consider what's happening with the economic challenges and the retirement plans. We have to identify all the kind of factors that influence our older adults' decisions to sell or buy a home, and start choosing a community of some type. And let's just kind of stop there. When we're talking about choosing a community, we're going to, and again, I had shared that we're going to have different segments, but the communities may have to involve what they have for the community. You know, is it necessarily a retirement village? And do they have this? Do they have that? So yeah, it's not just black and white.
Right.
It is not just going to be black and white, and it's also going to depend possibly on the senior's health. Okay.
I've noticed that a lot of builders are really paying attention to that, and they're building more paired housing, or including it to be, if that's not the entire neighborhood, but they're, you know, committing a certain percentage of that, because paired housing is fantastic. You could, you know, have your children potentially on one side, but also, you know, it just takes less items for them to take care of as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and actually tell you what, a lot of them are calling them now villas.
Oh,
these
okay.
care homes, they're calling them they're villas. And I'm also going to share with you, and I was going to get to this, that there still is not enough. There is not enough senior citizens, what's the word, options. Okay, options. So, you know, so we're talking about the kind of research that I'm going to have to get into for the planned communities. Like we said, either they're active, because you have active seniors, and then you have those that, you know, are not. I mean, there's things that they just want to do. So also we want to talk about keeping up to date with the housing trends and smart home adaptions for the 50 market and over. It was interesting to find out the age groups that use Facebook or these pads,
Yes.
the
iPads.
iPads, okay, and that's how they use them, okay, a lot different than,
Okay.
and it just kind of depends. You're also finding out that with the baby boomers, that even after retirement, what you are seeing is that they may retire for 3 or 4 years, but they go back to work, you know, and so
Rested. They rested up.
They
and
rested
went back to
up,
work.
you know, and maybe doing something that they have been thinking about, and you know, but that's that's a different kind of thing too. But yet they still may not want a whole lot of responsibility
That's
when
right.
it comes to the house. So I've got to learn how to actually alert the clients in the age restricted communities, and that's the part that we do not have enough of, because over 55. So you do have those. Not that I have to prove it. I mean, they can't have to give me their birth certificate or anything like that. And we do not have a lot of that here in
Over 55
Over
communities.
55 communities.
Gotcha.
Yes. So just a lot of research that I have to get into. So again, the housing options here, I got to learn more and more and more about that. Some of the over 55 or some of the communities are really a lot farther away than some people want to go.
Yes.
We just really don't have enough.
I love that you mentioned about some people retire and then it may be for 3 or 4 years and then they go back and they start doing something that they love. And I love this because my father and your husband shared the same passion for the golf course. And that's what my father did too, after he had retired. It's like he went and worked at the golf course just so that he could be around his friends, have something active to do. So.
And you will find that a lot of people, some seniors, and that's why they move to warmer climate, maybe because they want to golf, places like that, and depending on their age group. But yeah, some of these seniors, you can't make them stop.
No.
They're just not going to stop. So let's see where we are. And so I'll also get into perhaps counseling, sellers, or just whatever kind of information I can help them on. Let's say they decide that they want to sell, and let's just kind of stop right here about clients who have decided that this is what I have to do. I need to sell. I love my home, but I'm in a new chapter of my life. So we've got to talk about that. And why do we have to talk about that? Because you're getting into when we talk about downsizing, it's a new day.
It's a new day.
Okay, and then you're talking about decluttering, and that's a biggie for seniors.
That's hard.
Well, listen,
I don't want to let it go.
I was in my house 42 years.
Yes.
I had 3 dumpsters.
Yeah.
Probably could have used 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And sometimes the children don't want to anything.
Participate, right.
Take it all.
They don't want to. But you have to have the compassion.
Yes, you do.
And you can't rush any situation with that decluttering. And I'll talk about it a little bit later, but I can just might as well talk about it now. But the fact that I am in this kind of a situation, we're going to have partners. And so I'll be partnering with people that can help you declutter. Who can come
that's
in,
right.
with services and things, things of this nature. So again, that's going to, that decluttering bit is a biggie. And it's not just because of all they have, it's just the mental part.
Right.
The real, and you've got to really kind of take your time with it and hopefully maybe involve children if they're around or
Yes.
nieces or nephews who care,
Right.
care about it. And when decluttering is going to be a big one, and just helping them understand their, the joy of moving into another chapter.
That's a service industry all to itself. So I love
Sure
that you're going to be
is.
partnering with them.
Yeah. And then we're talking about, acquainting our clients with, a community that will work with them that might be where they are going to be. They're aging in that particular place. So
Like a one-stop.
a one-stop
shop.
exactly.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm kind of excited about that. Also maybe situations where they can stay where they stay because it's maybe one level. But what about their safety? Or what about the fact that they now need maybe widened hallways. So that means some renovation that may have to take place, especially because of their safety issues, and just the higher toilets, the higher sinks, period.
Right.
So let's just kind of take a minute. Also, there might be some situations where they have a lot of equity, and this is where my friend, and we can just talk about that. Let's just where a HECM mortgage take place, and I'll be able to recognize that pretty much immediately, just because of the time frame that we've worked together,
Right.
and understanding HECM, and so just kind of take a minute, Diana, to help me out and help the listening audience out about the different ways that we can use HECM.
So HECM is what we call a retirement mortgage. You may hear it referred to as the reverse mortgage, but it's a loan, number one, but it's a loan that you pay back that's deferred. It's a loan that's deferred, so it doesn't have required monthly payments. You can always make monthly payments, but it's not required that you do so. Sometimes, just depending on the senior situation, we could be eliminating a mortgage payment that they have going on right now. We could eliminate that. If they have debt that they want to get paid off as well, we could make a reverse mortgage or retirement mortgage and consolidate all the debt and increase your cash flow because the monthly payments would be going down. You could be selling your home and want to take the equity out of the sale of your home and use that equity to buy another home and put so let me give you an example. If the price of the home is like $300,000, and let's say you're 85, just for the sake of an example, and let's say that you're going to net maybe $200,000 out of your house, then you may be able to put down $150,000, $160,000 on the new house and take the balance of that house and put it on a reverse mortgage where you would not have any required monthly payments, and you still have a little money in your pocket.
Yeah.
So it is a loan product, that's first of all, but it's one that can meet a lot of different needs of the senior. What I like about Janis, your service that you're providing is you will help the senior determine what those needs might be. And then, the HECM or the retirement mortgage is not for everyone. So maybe if you decide, hey, I would rather not have a HECM, I just want to consolidate my debts and maybe restructure my current mortgage, is something we can do that as well. But the most important thing is you want a person who's skilled in serving the senior population to help you kind of make those decisions so you have no regrets after the fact.
So also, Diana, wouldn't the reverse mortgage help the person possibly renovate? So that part.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about that if you would.
Sure. When you're getting a reverse mortgage or a retirement mortgage and you are actually tapping into borrowing part of your equity, you can do anything with that money that you want to do. So as Janis said, will it help you renovate? It absolutely will help you renovate. So for the example, again, where we had the $300,000 property, the borrower was $85,000, just to give you an idea, we may be able to actually give the borrower $150,000, these are general numbers, just so you understand the concept, to use in any way they can. The way we give you the money in most cases is through a line of credit. This is not a credit line that you have any monthly payments on, but this is just the way you access your money. And you can take that money and do anything. So if you want to put on a new roof, or you want to get a furnace, or you want to make those modifications where you're widening the doorways, or lengthening the halls, or building ramps, or things of that nature, then you have the money to do that. What's beautiful about it is you're not creating another monthly payment for yourself. You're not creating another monthly debt, because the reverse mortgage does not require any payments. The product that we use is a HUD product, so it is 100% safe. You're not going to get upside down where you have a deficiency left on the home that you have to pay for. None of that. So, I mean, it's like borrowing money and go on a vacation, go around the world 2 or 3 times, then come back and do the work.
You have to come back. Yeah, I think there's a time
No, it
frame.
is.
I think there's a time frame
but
that you have to come back.
We had a client recently that took equity out of their home and just paid cash for their vacation home. So they had enough equity in their current home, took that money out, paid cash for a vacation home. The key with the reverse is that you've got to be in that home at least half of the year. So the minute that you're out more than you're in, then it's no longer a loan that qualifies for that type of repayment, because what it's designed to do is to help you live in your current home, okay, and improve your quality of life.
And also, there could be a situation where it's just strictly renovating, so refinancing. Okay.
Yes,
So,
just straight up refinancing.
yes, and I would probably say, okay, here are our options, and run straight to you. Yeah, and run straight to you for you to help me. So, and some of the other information that I need to know more about, but I'm not going to be the expert, and that would be, you know, sometimes it could be a tax situation with the elder, the senior, or issues with that could involve maybe their spouses or partners or heirs or things of this nature, even if they're talking about deed. Now, in these cases, what you have to understand, what I will have are partners, okay?
So you'll have the experts.
I will have the experts
deal with these
to deal
things.
with those. Now,
Okay.
who are my experts? We've already talked about Diana, you know, for the reverse mortgage, but also, and I've already spoken with an attorney who is elder law, because there's going to be many occasions that's going to come up that's going to require an elder law that's going to be dealing with the senior citizens, maybe because of deed situations or just who knows.
I love
but
it.
I will not have the answer to all, but certainly will make sure that, you know, they're protected. Okay.
I love that. I had a call the other day from a couple who were interested in a reverse mortgage. And what I found out when I pulled up the ownership tax record, the home is in the husband's name only, not the wife.
Yes. Okay.
And so I just shared with him at that time, now this reverse mortgage thing, because you have to have a certain amount of equity, it may not work out. But right now, if something happened to you, she would have a time, you know, maybe getting that house into her name. So one of the things you guys may want to do is meet with the attorney and get her added to the deed. And so, Janice, I say that to say, when you start meeting with our seniors out there, it's great you've got this fantastic team, because I have a feeling you're going to encounter a lot of situations.
I know I am.
You know, I had, you're talking about that excellent partner. I referred someone to that partner they saw your show, and they're like, they definitely went there because their mother had passed. And when they went through that after the fact, they immediately went to her husband's parents and said, okay, we got to do this stuff right now. So because Janice, you are always out there, and you have, like, you don't just think about the person, you think about everything around them. And that is one of those characteristics that are definitely needed in that senior market too.
Yeah.
Make sure they've got someone looking out for them.
And it's going to involve, a lot of these decisions will involve the children if they're available. And then, of course, a lot of prayer with situations with that, you know, because
Start all meetings with prayer.
and seniors don't like to be told what to do.
No, that's right.
I was with my daughter the other day, and I had the umbrella, and so I was walking with it, and she said, "Now, see, don't you think you walk better with the umbrella than with, you know, if you had a cane?" So yes, we understand where children are going to be involved, and we certainly need them. But let's talk a little bit still more about some of the partners. I think I might have mentioned, the financial planner, also a tax CPA person, not just a tax person, but a CPA person. So these are going to be part of the partners. We're needing to declutter. Certainly, there's agencies that actually help you declutter. And so it just is not me, but that'll help the person also. Maybe I'll take them out to lunch.
Yeah, I was going to say
while they're there.
A long lunch, yes.
And there's actually senior movers.
Good.
So
yes.
the people that are part of this that can give them the kind of respect that they deserve,
Yes.
and just try to make it easier. Now let me tell you about this that I really do like. Okay, and I have been in a couple of situations where I've gone to the person who has passed, that the siblings are there or what have you, the children, and we're talking about all these beautiful things that But so you're talking about, hey, you need an estate liquidation, and there are really people out there that won't rip you off. Okay, so I mean, a lot goes into this.
Oh, yeah.
A lot goes into this. I'm dealing with a situation now that I don't know if they'll ever be able to get everything out of the house. But again, you know, you don't want these are the children are feeling it too. These are what my parents really loved, but who's going to give them the right kind of money that they might be able to do? So and services that might also help you with the with moving, you know, definitely with that. And I don't know if I have enough money to, not money, but enough time to kind of go over, but I kind of think I can. So what I really like about knowing some of these things in these classes I took is kind of giving you the characteristics of these different senior citizens. They call it there's a GI generation born 1901 to 94. And they're, of course, they're saying that they're quickly passing, obviously, from the scene. But, you know, just saying that in 2020, the average age was 96. The silent generation. This generation is talking about the characteristics. They were 1995 to 1945. Cautious, risk adverse, industrious, prudent. That's that age group. Baby boomers, characteristics. I love it. We're ambitious, optimistic, individualistic, seeking immediate gratification, hardworking, competitive, materialistic, forever young. That's 1946, you know, to 1964. I just love it. Okay, and then the Generation X, he talks about the skeptical latchkey kids, you know, so on and so forth. But I kind of like that. I kind of like learning a little bit about to understand how they think, you know, and because they're part of who we are.
That is true. That is
and what's important to them.
Yeah,
right.
Well, you know, we have to know. I have to know how to kind of deal with them.
That's
you know,
right.
Again, especially I'm a part of a baby boomer, but if you know that's a certain age, the older ages. Too, they're going to be a little bit more difficult to work with.
Yes, they
because
will.
they're going to be really kind of set in their ways and not going to, you know, and not going to trust you. But maybe the fact that I am a senior might kind of help a little bit.
Very helpful. I think that would be
So
helpful.
I know this is just really an overview, but this is no joke. You know, this certification will be no joke, and I am glad to have been. To be a part of it, you know, because it's just all of us will be growing.
Well, it's clearly a very broad and comprehensive perspective of it. It's not just selling a house and buying a house.
No.
And that, to me, I mean, I just don't know of any other profession that goes this far in trying to really identify the needs of the client.
Yes.
And then, of course, make recommendations and just kind of on their clock, on their however quickly they are trying to move. So kudos to you again, Janice. And we look forward to more information.
Yes, thank you for that.
And for all the generations, A, B, C, Ds, E, F, Gs.
That's right.
Looks like we got our own generations too. So
We sure do.
So,
I just loved it. I was so glad to be able to get that part out, just to kind of know. So again, you know, I'm Janis Bradley. I'm the new senior real estate specialist. You have my number below, and hope you've enjoyed this part of our show.
And I'm Diana Rice-Wilkerson, loan officer with Fairway Independent Mortgage. My job is to show you the money. Take care and have a nice day.
Bye-bye.